The A Show.
Where smart is the new sexy.
And now, April Hunter.
Hey, what up, yo, you sexy, smart, and beautiful people. Welcome to the A Show. I am April Hunter, your host. And next to me, across from me, however you want to, cat corner, not kitty corner, cat corner, is my fantastic cousin, Eva D. She's my wonderful co-host. We have a great show for you this week, unlike last week. We're really sorry about that. Sometimes things happen, and having a live show, things happened, and we apologize for the lack of connection, and we are grateful that Eden could come on and give it her best, but we didn't have the show we wanted to have for you guys, so we're sorry about that. However, today we're going to have a good one. We feel like we have to make it up, so hopefully we will do that. First off, welcome. We see Michael, I see Allie, Lon, another Michael. There's two Michaels in here from two Michael Dordas. Wow, okay, that's pretty cool. We got a UK and US Michael. I see Damien, I see Alex, I see, who else do I see?
Oh, Lori's here.
Yeah, I see Lori, I see Bigwig, cool, awesome dude. I see Steve. Thanks for being here, you guys, as you filter in. I appreciate you. Ben Rob, Kenny Effin Powers. Hi. So it's hot.
It is hot. Shit.
Hot. Oh my God. So,
I'm sure they would love to know what kind of hot it is, April.
It's hot as fuck.
Yeah.
It's Florida hot. It's
Florida
swoobies. And
there you go. That's now you picked it up.
Swass and swussy hot. We have it's like we were doing okay here in Florida. Like the night times were all right. Kind of like they were getting down to 75. They were all right. And then like the minute the clock clicked over to midnight last night, July 1st, I walked outside. I walked the dogs. I was like, it's 1 a.m. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It was like humid and disgusting, and there were mosquitoes everywhere, and it was just gross. And I got out of the shower, and I was like, oh, I'll walk the dogs. I need another shower after I walk the dogs.
You shower after.
Yeah.
That time of year, you got to wait till after.
It really was. It is. It's gross. So, yeah. And I see Bigwig going, well, I can't watch porn anymore. I don't.
What's that about?
I don't know if it's about something or that we can suggest a VPN for you since you're in a red state, and reroute it through a blue state. Might we suggest Phoenix, Arizona? So
yep, there's a free one too. I think I put it out there for something VPN. I'll pull it up again.
Yes, red state. I don't know if everybody knows this, but red state people have been banned from porn because tax-paying, law-abiding grown-ups aren't allowed to make their own choice about these types of things. So, simple solution: VPN. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, there's a couple different ones for free.
A nanny situation. Yeah. Anyway, we have a good show for you. We have a lot going on. We have a big picture show. There's a lot of stuff going on. Like you guys know, we are you would say, smart is the new sexy, and we're the moderate voice of reason. So there's a lot of things going on that it's a much bigger picture right now. It's not one side or the other. There's things going on that I think are going to make a lot of sense for you guys once you take a look at all the pieces of the puzzle. And I think as best as we can, we have a lot of those pieces. So we're going to share some things with you, and you guys tell us what you think. And maybe you have some pieces of this puzzle too. So we're going to throw some stuff at you and see what you think and whatever. Oh my God, Ben Rob, you're hilarious. So give me some money. Okay. Just give me some money.
You're on Twitch. Yep. Throw some biddies. You get what? You get
some biddies. And I will keep posting. And by the way, if you are on my socials, just so you know, I am doing a countdown till 4th of July or Independence Day, however you want to call that. And I am doing that on patreon.com, April Hunter. And every day there's something new and old on there. So a classic and a new thing that nobody's seen before, an exclusive. So it is worth your while, as some people say, worth your while to go over there and check it out. We're doing some fun stuff there. So yeah.
Congrats.
We're having fun with it. And incidentally, fun fact, if you are in America or you do follow weird American history, the Declaration of Independence was actually signed on the 2nd, July 2nd. So it was ratified on the 4th, but the real Independence Day is July 2nd. So, and another fun fact, if you are Canadian or you follow Canadian history, today is Canada Day. So today is the Independence Day of the Canadians. Yay! Welcome to our beautiful northern neighbors. So,
hey, real quick, can I throw my job out there when you're done?
yes, please do.
Don't forget to log in, tell your friends, share,
Yes.
and say hello. Let us know you're here. And also, we have a sponsor.
Yes, we
What's the
do.
sponsor?
Wise Wolf Gold and Silver Exchange, Wolfpack Gold. So if you want to keep your money secure, we talked about this last week about the dollar being in a free fall.
Yes.
So secure your money with precious metals. Gold and silver will not only keep them stable, but it will keep them growing. So you can invest for as little as $50 at aprilhunter.gold. That's not me. That's a veteran-owned business. Very reliable, very easy to get a hold of if you need anything. And they will make sure you don't lose any value in your hard-earned money. So yeah, and if you do decide to do a recurring buy for as little as $50, you can use the code 1776, which is very fitting right now.
I know, right?
And they will send you some free constitutional silver. So yeah, Kenny says, get that gold. It's back up to
sorry.
What happened there?
I was taking the banners off. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. Sorry. We double banner.
Yeah.
Double banners. It's back up to 3,354 today. So
pretty amazing.
Yeah. Gold Gold keeps going. Going.
Ooh.
So
thank you, Ben Rob.
Yeah. Oh, Lon says as usual, he has his amazing jokes. The Declaration of Independence, when Star flashes the goods for the first time.
I want to see it.
Pretty funny.
Is there some out there? Do I not know? Okay.
The Declaration.
There. Yeah.
Sent $10 on Cash App. I participated. Nice. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Ben Rob.
Thank you. We do actually have a day. Someone said there should be a Hot Redheads Day. We do have national. We have two actually. We have National Redhead Day and then Kiss a Redhead Day, which was formerly Kick a Redhead Day. So, yeah. Luckily, they knocked that statue down and replaced it with kissing.
We all have different days. Look them up.
Yeah.
There's Left-Handers Day too.
There is. Yeah. There's National Ice Cream Day. I'm sure there's National Big Boobs Day. There's all kinds of stuff. So, yeah. So we got some good stuff. We have we got a lot of things that people need to be aware of, and we'll talk about gator traz here in Florida.
Gator Alcatraz.
Yeah, Japanese data that came out. I've been using a lot of the Japanese data for a lot of the medical stuff all the way. If you're paying attention or you are okay to have it translated, they were one of the few governments that were putting out the data, and they were, I guess it's a different kind of government. Like they seem to be, I guess, more protective of their people. So yeah, so we have some new data that's really telling that you guys should maybe know. We also found out that Parkinson's has been responding really well to stem cell treatment. Now, America's like way behind on stem cell. Remember how that was outlawed for a while during the Bush administration? Because they were talking about
in some states.
Yeah, because they're saying that, obviously you can get stem cells not using fetal or abortion cells. They can still do that. But they use that as a way to outlaw it, probably because it works. So stem cell is really the way of the future. So unfortunately in America, we are so far behind with stem cell treatments that an insurance will often either limit it or deny it completely. And I know in my business with wrestling, I know a lot of people that have had that treatment and they feel amazing about 6 months later, like it has completely healed them. So to see this kind of study happen with Parkinson's, where it has cured people, because I guess, I don't know how it works because that's above my pay grade, but it has the synapses with the dopamine and the neurotransmitters, like something or the other.
everything.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
reconnect.
regenerates.
It does something. So it's very, and Ben says
That's
nicotine helps.
interesting.
Nicotine helps a lot of things. Straight
Also, with
nicotine.
Parkinson's, didn't we learn about treatments as well as frequency treatments?
Yes.
So
Yeah, but
thank
this
you
is
for
a cure.
sharing that, though.
This is a cure, not a treatment. So there's
Yeah,
a
you
difference.
can grow your own stem cells too. So, I put it out to one of our cousins up there, the one that's got Parkinson's too, because I don't know what he's been doing and what kind of treatment, and I'll throw the nicotine out there too.
Well, our hospitals and our medical system doesn't really like cures. They do love treatments, especially ones where you can stay there forever and keep paying. So
Right.
this is why stem cell has not been fully developed, I think. And this is why they keep concentrating on mRNA over stem cell. So if we could, gently or not so gently encourage them to focus more on stem cell than mRNA, that would be a wonderful thing. And we're going to discuss more about the mRNA too. And yes, Winona says it was been proven to work for paralysis too before it was cut. Yes, it has helped to heal, and people will walk again too. So yeah, it is a miracle thing, and in a for-profit medical industrial complex, I think we know why they don't want that to be a thing. So
right. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, so where do we even start?
I know there's a lot.
There's a lot. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to talk about is a lot of people are aware that there's a new mayor-elect, I guess, in potential in New York. And, we're hearing a lot about the fact that he is very, very pro-socialist. And a lot of people have the what's the word I'm looking for? Misinformation, I guess, that capitalism doesn't work and that's failed. And I think they don't understand that we're not in capitalism. We don't have a capitalist society. We have a corporatist society. And corporatism is a form of fascism. Matter of fact, it's one of the main tenets of Benito Mussolini's fascism regime is corporatism. So that's what we've been. And it didn't just happen. It's been here for decades. So what the problem is, this is a bigger picture thing that you guys need to understand, and maybe you can share it with other people too. And Daryl's asking about nicotine. I think the cigarettes are bad for you. The nicotine, from what I understand, is not. Right. So the nicotine used in a certain way for certain things can be considered a miracle drug. But
kind of like CBD versus THC and stuff like that.
Yeah. Or exactly. So here's the situation. It's the monopolies. The way to fix where we are right now is not socialism. It's destroying the monopolies. So let me explain what I mean by this. All right, gonna find this note real quick and tell you what I wrote, so maybe you can understand it. All right. So way back in the day, I don't know how many people remember Bell Telephone. So there was a lawsuit against Bell Telephone for being a monopoly. So, and you think that, there's antitrust. You're not supposed to be a monopoly. Well, what happened after that is that every corporation found a backdoor on how to be a monopoly, and that is to have a main corporate umbrella and then multiple versions underneath. So, for example, we used to have a bunch of different news outlets. We now have 6. Only 6 companies own everything we see, read, and hear, all the radio. So, and they control everything. They're literally state-owned propaganda. We used to have a bunch of airlines. You've probably seen airlines folded into other airlines. Now we don't have very many airlines. We used to have a bunch of food companies. Now, 10 food companies control everything we eat. So they're Nestle, Coca-Cola, Unilever, PepsiCo, General Mills, Kellogg's, Associated British Foods, Mondelez, Mars, and Wrigley. So they own all the food. We had, for example, if you need an air conditioning unit. there are only 6 companies that produce air conditioning units. So now you can go out and shop for a bunch of different air conditioning units. You're under the illusion, however you want to call it, of choice. Like, oh, there's so many I can choose. But there's not. There's only 6 companies that own all of those units.
There's only one Freon for all of those units in the United States.
Yep.
Under all these different labels, one company.
Yeah. So it's there are monopolies upon monopolies upon monopolies. This is what's happening. So let me explain how that affects us. All right. So I'm going to read this to you because I wrote this and I think people should know this. So the problem is not capitalism, it's corporatism and monopolies. We have to break up the monopolies. This started way back with Bell Telephone and has continued with corporations finding loopholes in the law to expand using monopolies. We have just a few internet companies, 6 air conditioning brands, 6 media companies who control all the news and radio. It's literally state-owned propaganda. We have an FDA, which is weird, a Food and Drug Administration. We've normalized that, overseeing what we eat, and only a handful of food companies with many brands underneath of them. This is the way everything is done in the USA. A handful of companies, many brands underneath, which they all own, the illusion of choice, all putting Main Street small businesses out of the market. Since they work in unison, they buy in bulk, they price at wholesale, and they use third world labor prices. You know, they can afford to buy 8 million units at a time. A mom and pop company can't. These corporations were given legal human rights in the court of law. They are protected as a legal human entity. They are beholden to the shareholders, not the customers. So customer service does not matter anymore. This is thanks to Ford versus Dodge, or Dodge versus Ford. I'm not sure which way that was, but that is a Supreme Court case that said the workers don't matter, the customers don't matter, only the shareholders matter. So when they implemented the DEI index, they make you and I think about it as far as racism or genderism. But what the DEI index actually is that these companies are awarded globalized government money for getting to certain shareholder levels. So when they're awarded from the top, they don't have to earn on the bottom. So if they're making all of it from here, it doesn't matter what they sell down here. It doesn't matter what their customer service is. Literally, you don't matter. So they have lobbyists who buy politicians to ensure their interests are legalized, whether that's extensive, cheap, immigrant, illegal labor, making sure you aren't paid well for working overtime, or that you get no paid sick days, or maybe you only get 3 of them, or that dumping waste into our local waters is perfectly fine. So this is all protected because they pay for it. This is why we get exactly one choice of electric company where we live. It's why in Florida, even if you have solar panels, it's illegal to be off the grid, and you still have to stay hooked up to your power company and then let them siphon off your excess. And yet your bill keeps going up. Mm-hmm. So this is why net neutrality was taken away, and only corporations are first in Google searches instead of equality using SEO keywords. Now, if you went to school or you went out of your way to learn, like I did, certain SEO keywords, then you know that they don't matter anymore. So there is a fast lane and there is a slow lane. And if you are not a corporation or you have not paid to be in the fast lane, you're not going to show up in the Google searches and your business is going to suffer. So if you look up a barbecue, when we went to that museum, I looked up a little barbecue. We were in a neighborhood, and we went to this. There was a Black-owned barbecue restaurant, small, fantastic. Could not find it. Saved my life when we went. I know they exist still. Couldn't find to go back to them because they weren't paying to be in the fast lane. So I couldn't go back to eat there again, even though I wanted to. So all that came up was all the corporate-owned barbecues on, all the chain restaurants. So if you look up barbecue, you're going to get chain restaurants, not that little corner place, unless they paid handsomely to get into that fast lane. This is how they're killing small businesses. And COVID exacerbated that. So that's why so many large businesses were bailed out. That's why so many small businesses were not. So, and that's why they changed everything. That's why the IRS is going after payment apps. That's why, fees doubled. So corporatism is the key aspect of fascism and has been in play for decades through multiple administrations who have allowed it to keep growing bigger and bigger and bigger. So the answer is not socialism. The answer is to tackle the monopoly laws and break up the corporations and to create real capitalism again. So here's a definition of corporatism. Mussolini's corporatism was a political and economic system that aimed to organize society into corporate groups representing various interests, such as labor and business, under state control. This approach was a key aspect of fascism, promoting cooperation between classes while suppressing independent labor movements and trade unions. So that's where we're at. So don't get it delusionally twisted that capitalism is the problem when we're not even in a capitalist society. There's no equality here. It used to be before net neutrality was taken away. And by the way, they brought it back up to bring it back so it could be repealed. And Biden shut that down too. So before that, if you looked up organic soy candles and we had the right SEO keywords, my candle company, April Sensations, would show up alongside of any corporate company in the first page on Google. Now I'm somewhere like on 6 or 7 or 12 or 29 or something like that. I don't even come up.
There's something that I'll throw in there with that.
Yeah.
If you look, anytime you see something when you Google, let's say on your computer, you'll see on the right side, ad. Even if it's that particular manufacturer paid to be at the top. So I scroll past that every time. I will not click on that shit. I will keep going and look for other things.
Yeah, I start looking on page 3 now.
Yeah, and the other thing is too, when you find a small business like that barbecue, make sure you do a review. If you review, it'll show up more often, and hopefully you can help save their business.
So Jacob says if it has value, you pay for it. Placement has value. Yes and no. So running a small business is very, very, very expensive. By the time you're done paying your overhead, your labor, your everything that it costs, and then your insurance, all that stuff, sometimes it's not feasible. It just isn't.
For the love of it, really.
Yeah.
So they love what they do.
Yeah, and Poe Girl says you don't realize how the internet charges for advertising and buries you if you aren't paying them enough to come up on search engines. That's a part 2 of this. I talked about cash today. So let me find that too, because there's something you guys should know about that as well. All right. Somebody posted about cash and why it's really, really important. If you have a $50 banknote, okay, I have a $50 banknote in my pocket. Going to a restaurant and paying for dinner with it. Restaurant owner then uses the $50 banknote to pay for the laundry. The laundry owner uses the bill to pay for the barber. The barber then uses the bill to pay for shopping. After an unlimited number of payments, that $50 still remains $50, which has fulfilled its purpose to everyone who has used it for a payment. And the bank has jumped dry from every cash payment transaction made. But if I come into the restaurant and I pay digitally with my card and bank fees for my payment, transaction charge to the seller is 3% plus around $1.50. So you will lose that 3% plus $1.50 with each time. So $50 becomes $46. And then you take that money and $46 becomes $42. And then that becomes $38. And we are devaluing our money by using our bank cards and our credit cards. So that is why my grandmother's house was $30,000 and is now listed at $500,000. It's the same house. It's the same property. Nothing's changed, but our money has been devalued, and we are partially responsible for that. Not totally, but we are partially responsible for playing into that. So
I'd like to answer his question when you're done there.
Yeah. Well, let me add into this, and yes, we will add to it. So I wanted to add in that online companies are the absolute worst, as was stated by Poe Girl. So if you order a Cameo at $50 from your favorite celebrity, they get less than half of that after Cameo takes their share. And if you pay with iOS, Apple Pay collects $10 on every
They're
purchase.
the worst.
Yeah. So companies who do pay-per-view videos do a 60-40 split and take 40% of nearly half of whatever creators are making. It is insane. So this is something to be aware of. So, if I sell $200 worth of videos a month, I come home, I take home what, $120 from that, 110 after everything.
Mhm.
So, but got an answer. I just want to explain how crazy this has gotten. Oh, additionally, if you are considered a high risk, the banks are now charging an annual fee of $1,000 on top of all that, on top of that 3% and that per fee. They're charging $1,000 every year for Visa, $1,000 for MasterCard, $1,000 for each card if you're considered high risk. So if that's any type of gambling, CBD oil, any type of cryptocurrency, any type of nudity, any type of art with nudity, you have to pay those fees.
There's also the credit card machine fees. If you have a brick and mortar, you pay for the credit card itself, plus the processing on top of that other 3% you're talking about. So, for instance, he said, is it worth 3%? Sure, it's not counterfeit or any employee does not steal the money. Honestly, I believe it is. Okay,
Yeah.
so you add that 3% up throughout a whole month. The amount of charges and devalue of $1 is ridiculous. It's not even 50 cents on the dollar by the time you're done taking everything. And that's only for you, not including when you turned around and the person, uses their card again. So anyway, think about that. And then War Demon, I'm going to answer you on that. You are not part of the problem.
No, you're not, War Demon. By the way, an
There's
EBT card allows you free or highly discounted access into a ton of museums. So
correct.
if you ever want to go somewhere and you have an EBT card, just because you're not making as much money as somebody else doesn't mean you can't be cultured or educated, which I love that about our country, that we do that. So
Right.
yeah.
There's actually a law against that, though, War Demon. There is no percentage or fees with EBT card, by the way. So that you don't even worry about it. You're good. And then, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, finish.
Oh, so yeah, the Po Girl said you don't realize how the internet charges for advertising and buries you if you aren't paying enough to come up first on the searches. That is so accurate. I mean, so accurate. And then Ben Rob says the lobbyists have long since pushed us out of a capitalist society. Accurate. Go ahead. So many good comments here. You guys are great with this.
I just wanted War Demon to know, no, you're not fucked up.
No. Matter of fact, more people than ever are on EBT now. Because it's tough. It's hard to make it right now.
I don't qualify. I could use the help, and I don't qualify.
So it's absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. You need food. Food is vital. So you go through a very rigorous thing to get approved for that. If you fall into where you get approved for it, you need it. So
exactly. Let's see.
Ben Rob says I barter in tradable goods now. Sugar, salt, eggs, and chickens are it for me.
Congrats.
Well
Good
done. Jacob says I have several stores. It's not a bad deal. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you have a situation where you have to worry about theft, like certain places have more theft. Like gyms have a ton of theft from employees. For them, going more cashless might be more worthwhile, but you have to look at who they're hiring. They're mostly hiring young people who don't give a shit. It's not a career avenue for them. They don't care. They're just there to get a free membership.
And on corporate, there's a different level for that. On each corporate, like where I work, just for instance, one location throughout a year has a certain percentage of write-off that they expect for theft. It's upward of 8,000, 10,000 a year they expect on theft. That doesn't include counterfeit or anything else.
Yeah.
So, that's taken out of your budget. While we're on this topic, did you want to go over any cost-saving tips while we're at it? You got any out there? I got a few.
Do you? Go for it.
Well, don't buy into the whole idea of water bottles. Besides all the toxic end of it, you can buy one, refill one. Buy a cup. I even saw a great stainless steel mug, 32 ounces, I think it was, for $5 at the Dollar Tree. You can wash it, reuse it, and you don't have to keep buying bottle after bottle. So there's just one tip right there.
Hmm.
What about you? You're always good with tips.
Well, I was going to answer this. Po Girl says, I didn't know that about charges making extra money like that. I knew the mortgage companies used to have an additional fee if you didn't have enough to put down on your home, and they still do. It's called, what is that called? I want to say PMI. Am I right on that?
It could be. It's
It's
been. Oh yes. The mortgage interest. Yes, PMI.
Yeah, but well, it's an insurance, it's mortgage insurance. So I don't know how this makes sense, but if you don't have 20% to put down on your mortgage, they will charge you an additional like $200 a month for X amount of years, as an insurance on your mortgage. So you didn't have it to begin with, so they're definitely going to get it from you.
Yeah.
It's a mortgage insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say it's like a prime mortgage insurance, a PMI. I could
private mortgage insurance, PMI. Private mortgage.
Yeah. So after X amount of years of paying it, you can apply to have that taken off. But of course, I don't think any of that none of it goes towards your principal or your, you can't. None of it's refundable. So it's just going in their pocket. So
it also increases your monthly payment as well.
Oh yeah, by $200 usually. Well, probably more than that now. So it is worthwhile to have the amount that they require down. So
anyway, what else you got? Did you have any tips you can share?
I probably do, but I didn't write anything down.
Okay.
So if you have some, feel free, and I'll just comment on yours. If you guys have tips, put them in the chat, and we'll talk about it. We love money saving tips. Hell yeah!
Mm-hmm.
So I've been big into lately. I've been big into going to the dollar store and getting gnomes and gnome houses for $1.25 and then repainting them. So they only have like a couple choices there. I'll just go and break out the acrylic paints and paint them the way I want them to be, and then seal them. And I made a gnomicile outside. So
well worth it. Don't forget them. Yep.
Got all my gnomies and my gnomicile. One of them got an RV the other day. He got his own trailer.
They need to travel too.
They do. Yeah.
So. All right, let's move on. You had a list. Go ahead.
Winona says you have to watch crafters set up at festivals, and someone will swipe something and run off. You gotta hope that people who steal from small businesses like that are crafters. You hope they get the karma they deserve. Honestly,
true.
And you hope that it comes swiftly. So Brian, hi Brian. Brian says grow vegetables. Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, fruit trees. If you like fruit, grow fruit trees. Sometimes they take a little while and you have to babysit them, but they're so worth it. And the food tastes so much better. So grow things. Anybody can grow things. You can even grow it in your windowsill.
Go to the local market nearby. If you're not good at growing or pots or whatnot, you can go and buy organic local with no chemicals from a local market.
Yeah.
So
Aldi. If you're like me, where you don't trust the food situation, especially for like your pets, so I have started to make my dog's food. You can go to Aldi and you can pick up like couple pounds of ground chicken. I think it's like $2-3 a pound. And you can cook that with, carrots, and you can get those bags of sweet potatoes that are pretty inexpensive and throw some rice in there and grab the frozen green beans and frozen broccoli florets and some frozen blueberries, throw all that stuff in there, cook it in some coconut oil and some ginger, and you can mix it all together and make big things for the dogs and keep it in the freezer. And even if you do it just one meal a day, they're getting some real food. that's
You
quality.
can do that also for, like, I do that for my birds too. I
Mhm.
make homemade treats and stuff. So this way, muffins and muffin pans.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, dog treats. You buy a big bag of sweet potatoes, right?
mhm,
And slice them, put them in the dehydrator or the oven, dehydrate them. That's it. That's all you do. They fucking love them. Those are like some
mhm.
good chewy treats for them. So, and they're $18 a bag in the store. So
Yes. Yep. Yeah, there's lots of little tricks if you just even ask people.
yeah.
Um, let's see. I saw a few people
Oh,
put in. Here's another
yep.
great
Berry
tip.
bushes. Absolutely. And you can get them for like 15, $20. Blueberries are even cheaper, but you need two for blueberries. So definitely do that. Chang, what's up? How you doing? Mwah. I'm glad everybody joining us is coming in late, so that's awesome. Coconut oil is great for dogs. Yes, it is. I read, and I thought garlic was not good for dogs, but now I'm reading that it is. That the
Remember, I told
studies,
you the vet told me that
yeah, that it's
years
actually
back.
pretty good for
Yeah.
them, in small doses. That it keeps
Right.
fleas and ticks away from them.
That's why I was told, and it's also good for the coat. But
Yeah.
anyway, check with your vet. So yeah, okay, the bananas. I bought organic bananas from Walmart. I'm just gonna go off on a tangent for a second. Green, beautiful. 2 days later, they're fucking brown, and
Same
I'm
thing
like, they
happened to
never
me.
even went yellow.
Mhm.
So
It's like
guess where they are?
peaches.
I peeled them off, put them in the freezer. Right,
hmm
Lori?
hmm
Yeah, so use them for something else along the way.
Make some banana ice cream or something.
Yep. Don't
Give
throw
the
it away.
dogs.
There is other purposes. That was another tip, by the way.
Yeah, it drives me nuts. The peaches here are so messed up. When I was staying in France, you could get peaches there from the stands, and they were so good. They were perfect. They were like candy. And then here, our peaches they're one or the other. They're either you can use them as a weapon, like as a baseball, you can, or they're just mushy bullshit. Like there's no right peach here.
Where do our peaches come from? I never even looked.
I don't know.
Like,
They all say Georgia. I
yeah.
don't think they come from Georgia.
No, there's no way. But oranges don't come from Florida anymore because we don't really have any anymore. So be aware.
Oh, look at that. Somebody's gifting subs. That's awesome.
Ooh,
Thanks, Jason.
I'm hungry.
That's
I'm
cool.
just
No,
kidding.
I meant,
No,
yes.
I know, I'm joking.
Yeah, thank you to all our subscribers here. We appreciate you.
Hmm.
So let's see what
Absolutely.
else we got here. Okay, so I heard so many things today. We're gonna have some tinfoil hat moments here too. But there's another bigger picture thing to talk about too that I thought was really interesting. Regardless of how you feel about these nations and these people, this is something interesting to think about. So, I know I wrote this down. Maybe I didn't. Okay, so say I've got a big beautiful house, right? And there are two houses left. Everybody in my neighborhood has sold, and like BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, they want this area so badly because they want to develop it into something like we're right on the water. It's a perfect location. So myself and my neighbor, we haven't sold, and my house is sitting like right on top of like, oh, I don't know, whatever, gold mines, lithium mines, whatever. And I have over $3 trillion worth of natural assets. And the only thing standing in BlackRock and State Street's way is me. Right. So every day somebody knocks on the door. It's like, hey, this is BlackRock. We're offering you this money for your house. I'm sitting on diamonds. Right. And I'm like, no, fuck off. I'm not selling. This is my dream house. And so what do? They offer my neighbor a ton of money and they move in next door. What do? They play Slayer all night, all day with the speakers facing out the window at me. They let their toilets overflow and it overflows into my yard. Their dogs, they got 800 yappy dogs and they let them bark all the time. I mean, real neighbor shit, right?
Right.
So this is what's happening with Russia and Ukraine. So Russia is sitting on over $3 trillion worth of natural resources. And everybody wants it. And the only one standing in the way is Putin. And he knows he's got that. He knows he has it. So what does everybody do? I mean, everybody wants it. So what do? They move into the house next door,
Mm-hmm.
Ukraine,
Mm-hmm.
and they start blasting Slayer
Mm-hmm.
and letting the toilet overflow. So here's a situation that you guys have to be aware of. So as a result, they decide to do this is it's called a financial hit. So a financial hitman will go in and decide to destroy an entire whatever. So they will try and take a country down by tanking their banks, by cutting off supplies, by doing whatever it takes to make them stuck. So they
Mm-hmm.
try to do that. And that's why Russia decided to develop the BRICS nations currency. And that's why we are where we are right now. So that's why our dollar is free falling. So they decided to do that. Other nations joined in. And we touched on this a little bit. Other nations who were kind of tired of our crap too, they joined in. The one nation who did not join in, guess who that was?
Oh,
Israel.
interesting, isn't that?
Israel did not join in. They stuck by us. So, mhm.
Well, that explains a little bit with that Netanyahu, how he still exists. for all the stuff he's
So
doing.
regardless of, yeah, exactly. Regardless of how you feel about all the stuff going on or the propaganda we've been fed about who's good, who's bad, who's evil, who's not, who's this, who's that, we have to look at a bigger picture about what's going on financially on a much larger level.
Did you see that thing going talking about resources? The one thing I sent you about the country in Africa.
Yeah. Yeah. The gold, right? Ghana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in Ghana, Africa, there is a huge amount of gold.
Yeah.
And
So
they're
I think
one
it's
of
the
the
biggest
top
gold mine in the
5.
country, in the world, right?
Yes, and they're one the very top of many resources. And China has been infiltrating with people there to
Mhm.
do illegal mining, and 15 of them were arrested the other day. They're also immigrants, and they're having an issue with immigrants down there, and it all seems to be a much bigger picture with that as well. So anyway,
Yeah.
that was just information for you guys.
Yeah, I remember when they deployed our military to Northern Africa, and I couldn't figure out why. I just saw that, we were military. My whole family's military, so I knew that people were getting deployed there. Just if you're
Right.
paying attention, one of the ways to find out what's going on is to watch where they're deploying people to.
Yes.
So, and yeah, and as Jamie says, regardless of
Mhm.
any situation, it always, and I mean always, comes down to these 3 words: follow the money. You are
Right.
so right. So I watched and I'm like, why are we deploying troops to Northern Africa? So I started digging. I'm like, what's in Northern Africa? Well, it's uranium. Uranium's in Northern Africa. So, no, thank you, Scar. I
Wow.
appreciate that. Scar
Okay.
says, you used to have a great body, but now I don't think so. Okay. No, you
Okay.
can think whatever you want.
Well, you
So,
can think- Anyway, what else you got? Let's move on. We don't need that negativity.
Yeah.
So maybe some Cat Stevens, Simon and Garfunkel. Or let's just turn that volume up. All right. What's next on yours? Yeah.
Thanks, Ben Rob.
I think so.
I saw something and I thought it was really interesting. Let me see if I can find this video and see what you guys think, because it's super cute. I sent you the video of something they do in China. What?
No, sorry.
I'm looking at something. I'm missing conversations.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh. I know, it's always great, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me see if I can stop this. All right. There we go.
All right, everybody. That's enough in there.
Oh, I'm coming back. I'm reading this. So.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You have some really awesome fans, April.
I know I do. I appreciate that a lot. So, yes. Well, you guys are very, very sweet. I appreciate it.
Hey. If this fella can't keep his mouth shut, then we'll just make him go away.
So
if
check
you want to
this
see
out.
what our abs look like, go to Patreon and check it out.
Yes, I just posted pictures of the latest swimsuit thing. So, and
Yeah.
thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that so very, very much.
All right.
So,
What else?
I'm getting older. I'm getting older. I'm getting wiser, but we're doing our best to stay in shape. You know. There we go.
Yeah. I think if they go look at those pictures, they'll see that you are very much in shape. Yes. So
anyway, no, you can pay for it, Scar. Fuck off. Anyway, so
go check it out on Patreon if you want to see her.
And thanks, Crazy Train. I'll see you later. I think, right? We're doing the thing tonight afterwards. So thank you. So
that's how you go
with
find
you and see what you think. This was such a cute video. I thought it was adorable. Image file, share screen. Let me find it.
Oh, I know who that is.
Okay, so let me play it. Look at these little kids go. This is kindergarten, guys, in China.
I'm hungry looking at the food they're making.
I know. That's Japan too. When I was in Japan, we used to see this all the time. Look at them. So, isn't that impressive? I want that kid cooked for me.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
I know, right? So
we can't even get those skills right as an adult.
So yeah, well, I mean, they've been doing it forever. It's funny. So yeah, when I was in Japan, like the kids who were like 6 years old, they used to wear a little jacket or a vest, and they would go out and they'd get on the public transport by themselves. So they had a jacket or a vest identifying them as, you know, kids that might need help. Sorry, I'm fixing my microphone here. And they learned how to be independent from very early on. And a lot of the really young kids, they would have food ready for their parents. They knew how to make, you know, get everything ready, have the rice cooking, the whole thing. It was so impressive. And to see that, I mean, we kind of grew up that way, right? We grew up with, I mean, not that young, but it was pretty young that we started. I remember my parents.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't have the luxury, but most people I know did, you know, have that. So I learned later how to cook and stuff. But I did learn to sew and everything in school. Not that young, but
yeah, and I was gonna say not that young, but it was pretty young. It was like 8, 9, 10. My parents got in a motorcycle accident when I was, I want to say 9. I think 9 years old. And they had to, it was like exennials, exactly. We were left to our own devices. Exactly right. So when they got into their accident, we were out in the country in Pennsylvania and there was nobody to take care of them. So they pulled me out of school because I was the oldest kid and I had to take care of them for 6 weeks. So they had like a porta pot next to the bed. My mom had like shattered leg. My dad had to have knee surgery, tore his meniscus, and there's a bunch of other stuff that they did. Don't drink and drive, kids. And they got bacon and eggs and cereal every day for 6 weeks. My dad was finally like, oh my God, we have to teach you something else. Cause that's all I could do. I was like 9 years old. I'm cooking bacon and eggs and that's it. But yeah, after that, my grandparents were just like, okay, let's learn how to make some ribs and some bread. And we learned new things after that. They made sure of it just in case.
I know. You know, I'm having that for dinner tonight, by the way, bacon and eggs.
It always tastes better after 8 o'clock.
It does. What's up with that? Yeah, thank you for that. I think, you know, I knew how to make chicken and other things or, you know, whatever, just basic stuff. I survived. Hot dogs. Still can't make rice. I don't
Yeah,
know
when
what
it
the
says
fuck.
latchkey kids definitely used to have those skills.
Oh yeah,
Well, a lot of people use rice cookers.
rice cookers. Yeah, I still
Yeah.
can't figure that shit out. Whatever. 10-minute rice in a bag works.
So
90 seconds in the microwave.
pancakes. I remember when I was teaching my ex's kids to cook. He had 2 sons and they hit a certain age and I was like, they don't know how to cook anything. He's like, they make a sandwich. And I'm like, no, they need to learn how to cook. So the first thing I taught them was pancakes because that's what I remember my grandma teaching me was Mickey Mouse pancakes.
Oh, how cool!
Remember the silver dollar
Good
and
choice.
the Mickey Mouse pancake. So
Yeah,
I was
nice.
taught the and yeah, so that was what we did first.
Mm.
And Alex says, why can kids here in the US get it right? It must be because of the parents and the environment. You mean why can't kids here in the US get it right? Is that what you mean?
Mm.
Well, that's an interesting question. Now,
Our
maybe some
system is
are,
messed up.
maybe some are, and we don't hear about it because all we hear is the negative, right?
True. Well, there's a lot of schools that don't teach that anymore, and I don't know why they took those skills out of schools. Just basic skills. Not always that, but just to be safe around an oven, the stove, and,
Yeah. Oh,
so mac and cheese.
just they got better. My parents got better. They were fine, and they survived on bacon, eggs, and pancakes and cereal.
I would think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, they're fine. They lived
Hey,
many decades after that. So anyway,
yeah, I lived on hot dogs and mac and cheese and stuff too. So
this is a good point here. Po Girl says, I think Americans keep their children more like children longer. I think you are right. I think there's something to that because every other culture that I've been through, I guess, or every other country I've stayed in, and with wrestling has thankfully afforded me to stay in lots of places, they seem to get their children ready for adulthood on a timely manner, I guess, like we were. And
right.
now it's slowing down a lot. Like kids who are 16 have no interest in driving now. So I don't know.
That
I don't know
baffles
what's
me.
happening. If there's something going on that's a little bit weird.
Either it's the independence thing that's just not here, the push for independence.
And they'll tell you it's because they think that they'll have every excuse in the world as to why they can't be independent. They'll say, oh, you can't afford to live out on your own now, and blah blah blah, and there's nothing out there. But honestly, it always seemed that way. It was never affordable. When you're a teenager, when I was growing up, it was like $500 for rent was obnoxious. I was like, oh my God, $500.
How am I do that? Yeah.
And then all you have to do is come up with half because you got a roommate. You're like $250. How the fuck am I going to make that?
Yep. Oh my God. And then if you had a car, yep.
And
I remember my car breaking down and I couldn't pay rent. I walked to work and I fucking sweat. We didn't have buses. I just fucking went. And I'm like, I'm going to get there. I'm going to make the money. I'm going to make my rent. I'm not going back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's just the idea of living with your mom for the rest of your life. It was just like, I will find a way to make the money. Mm-hmm. I will find a way.
Exactly. So you became resourceful.
Yeah, really resourceful.
So, and it wasn't drugs and illegal shit either. It was just resourceful. You went and worked and you did what you had to do.
Or if you had to do drugs and illegal shit, you did that too sometimes. I mean, I'm not judging, whatever.
Yep, like, don't get busted.
Right, exactly.
Just don't get caught is what that would used to say. Don't get caught, whatever you do.
Going on but the rent. So
you're stupid enough to get caught. It's your stupid fault.
Oh my God.
So, all right. Anyway, what else? What
anyway,
else
I just thought that was so cute. I was like, oh
good.
My God.
I like it. Thank you.
Yeah. So let's see what else is going on. There's a lot going on this week, and as far as stuff coming out that we have brought to your attention for the years that we have been on regarding all the stuff going on, but we'll get to that in a second. Did you see we now have here in Florida gator trails, Alcatraz with gators?
Okay, I yes, all right. So everybody's making fun of it and do whatever, but I watched some videos on it. What do you got? Tell me.
What do you think? What's your opinion?
Okay, all right.
I have thoughts. And did you see the thing where they said people? Okay, this came right after that. They said that the amount of drugs being flushed into the system, the amount of meth being flushed into the system, has the propensity to make alligators aggressive.
Gee, isn't there a movie called Meth Gator?
There is a fucking movie already called Meth Gator. It's like a take on Cocaine Bear. I want to see Meth Gator versus Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, and it's in
So-
Florida. Go watch it.
It is. There is a
So-
movie called Meth Gator, Attack of the Meth Gator. So
I do have comments in reference to all this. So on the serious note, I watched some videos about what was going on down there. And by the way, if people don't know, it's an airport that was already there. It's still being used, not as a regular commercial airport, but it has been. It never shut down like it says at 62. That was not the case. It is one large runway.
okay, so it's not a what do they call it? Concentration camp, as it's been referred to.
Oh, it's gonna, okay, so I don't care what state or you're in, there is not enough room for what's going on, right?
Yeah.
And when all this stuff came out, the jab and everything, and everybody, all these concentration camps and stuff were built, they're using the same military technology for that as they did just to make temporary housing. That's all.
Nobody cared about the camps being built when we were unvaccinated.
No shit, right?
Nobody cared.
So,
we were trying
all
to
of a
say,
sudden-
hey, they're building this stuff. This is a big deal. They're building these.
all it
these
is,
things.
it's
Everybody's like,
pass-through.
fuck you. You deserve to be in a concentration camp. Now, all of
Yeah,
a sudden,
people are
everybody
not
cares.
going to be living there forever. It's a pass through. It's a place to get checked in, checked out. That's it. They have to have an area that's safe because the people in the jails now also have to be safe from everything else going on.
Mm.
So it's not overrun by meth gators. It is not an actual Alcatraz, which is now it's being called what alligator Alcatraz all over the place. And it's just a place for them to house and move on. That's it. We needed something like
boom.
that.
Jacob says it's okay to
Yeah.
build temporary housing for COVID, but not for the Carolinas. Bam. Thank you.
Not
That
for
was-
all over the place. So as fast
Yeah.
as this is going, in a week, this is built. So today, I don't know, I'm sure it made national news too, because all the protests, all the people that are protesting this bullshit, why don't they get up and protest the fact that they're knocking our trees down and building crap that we can't afford anyway? Even if the illegals are able to stay, there's nowhere to put them but on the street. So what do we do about it all? Let's
I don't know.
just, it just shouldn't be protest. If you're going to protest, go protest something that's worth it. That's all I got to say.
Hey, protest whatever makes you happy. It's America, and you can protest whatever you want.
That's true.
But I would highly suggest the a mosquito spray with you.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you're going to get bit by something, that's the
Because
fucking
where
place.
that area is
Oh, it's bad.
nothing but mosquitoes. So I think that the people who are being held there don't have to worry about the gators. It's the mosquitoes that are going to get you.
Or the pythons.
Did you know in Florida, the number one thing that actually kills people, that kills more people than anything, are the mosquitoes?
Mhm.
The mosquitoes.
Exactly.
I mean, technically, it's not them, but it's the diseases they carry. So, yeah.
So
I
welcome
think,
to the Alcatraz and
don't get
alligator
all cute
Alcatraz.
with your mosquito spray. Get the fucking DEET stuff, okay? Okay. Get the heavy duty. This stuff's eventually going to kill you if you use it on a regular basis stuff. Get that stuff. So if you're going to protest, okay, cover your ass in more ways than one and get that, heavy duty stuff. So
Oh yeah. So anyway, you know what? Go Florida. Let's just make national news again.
So Michael goes, I hate mosquitoes. What's weird is I've never heard anybody say I love mosquitoes. I've never heard it.
Why? They're so cute.
Oh man.
They don't have as big fangs as the freaking gnats down here, but that's
fucking-
okay.
They're vampires. Oh no, the worst are the no-see-ums. They just sneak up.
That's
on
what I
you and
mean.
get through everything.
It
So,
doesn't matter what you wear there. They're freaking
Oh.
getting your ass. So go
I
watch
know.
Meth Gator.
yeah, be high. Be high with that though. Be high with. Don't watch it sober. It's not going to be. Yeah. And thank you,
Yeah.
Sabrina. Happy Canada Day to everybody. Oh,
There you go.
yes. Yes. Yellow flies are the worst. We have these
You should
things.
tell a story about that.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Well, they're deer flies, technically yellow flies. They are territorial. They will bite you
They are
over and
aggressive. They
over
will
and
come
over
after
again.
you like
It's
you
just
owe them
fucking-
money.
Yeah.
Like, bitch,
Yes.
you owe me a couple $100s. They will come after you. Yeah.
Yep, and they leave big welts.
Yep,
Anyway,
they do. And
all right.
they itch and they burn. Yep. Mm-mm. So Lisa says Bali and Disneyland both don't have mosquitoes. Really? But they have. They have
Well,
people.
Disney World over here, they spend a lot of money spraying chemicals. So
Yeah.
if you want to support their chemicals, go for it.
But there's people there, and those people are not always the nicest people. So
Yeah, keep bats around. There you go.
exactly. Yeah. I have a bat box and I don't have any bats in it. Damn it. They need to be, I don't know. I don't know.
You have to
Yeah,
attract
I
your
don't think
bats.
it's up high enough. So, okay. So let's see. Oh, I had that wrong. Not 3 trillion for Russia, 75 trillion. I got to look at my notes. Russia has 75 trillion in natural resources. My bad. I need to look at my notes more often.
Too.
Yeah. Whoops. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. So, tinfoil hat time.
Here it comes.
Tinfoil hat time, folks.
Go
Okay.
for it. Go for it.
So, apparently, there was a bombshell study that came out this week. Now, I'm going to let you guys look it up. Like I said, with everything here, don't take our word for any of it. We give you some information. You guys are free to just go dig, find your information. So, never take our word for anything. Please do your own research. So, you should never take anyone's word for anything, really. Always just dig deep. But there was a study that came out, not a study that came out, sorry, a reveal that came out from, I guess, that the CDC has been hiding the autism rates linked to hepatitis B vaccine, and that they knew there were internal memos and everything else, and that the Hep B vaccine increases autism by, guess how much?
A lot.
It's a 4-digit increase, 1,135%. Now, this is a vaccination that's given to babies in the first 24 hours that they're born. It is a sexually transmitted disease. So it's transmitted through blood and sex. This is not something that babies should have to worry about unless they have been exposed because the mother carries it, like HIV. It can be passed mother to child. But the overwhelming majority of babies do not need a sexually transmitted disease vaccine within 24 hours. And for the CDC to hide this information is so irresponsible and so disgusting. It is unbelievable. Additionally, the Hep B vax is hidden in the DTaP vax. So that little series of vaccines where there's multiple together with DTaP and then like IA and then HB2. That is it. That long string.
HB2.
That's it. So they'll give you this vaccine that they'll give your child this vaccine multiple times. So this is something to be aware of. Here's where the foil comes in. Okay. If they knew that this vaccines cause autism thing has been around since Jenny McCarthy brought it to light, and she was outed, she lost her career over this. So she was called all kinds of things. A lot of people have been called all kinds of things. I've been called all kinds of things. So if this has been around for this long and they knew this, they hid this information. They deleted just a few weeks ago, they deleted the vaccine database, VAERS, for the injuries, the vaccine injury database. They wiped it before RFK could get a hold of it. So somebody must have downloaded.
Somebody has it for
yes, because so there's internal memos. They've even had WHO meetings on this issue, that the Hep B linked to such severe cases of autism, like skyrocketing. So here's where, like I said, the hat comes in. So if they know this, right, and you pay attention to what's going on with the telepathy tapes. Now, if you don't know what the telepathy tapes are, and Eva, I'll let you do the comments there while I'm rambling. I highly advise you to watch the telepathy tapes. And if you don't want to watch the whole thing, there's about an hour and a half long summation by Ian Carroll. If you're not following him, you might want to follow him or catch some of his episodes. But the one about the telepathy tapes is really worthwhile. because it's fascinating. So the gist of it is, and there's so much more to it than this, but the gist of it is autism is a gift. People who are autistic are highly gifted to the point where we don't even understand how highly gifted they are. And nonverbal autistics are so freaking intelligent, and there's like a whole thing going on in there, but they can't explain it because their body doesn't do what they want it to. They can't control their body, but there's a whole entire human being in there who's fully intelligent and fully capable, who can't control their body. Additionally, the overwhelming majority of nonverbal autistics can speak to each other telepathically. What's creepy is the government knows this. They have done experiments. So they know that there are autistic people who communicate very clearly and very telepathically with their mothers, their fathers, people who are close to them, who claim that their best friends, also other nonverbal autistics, are, in Texas when they live in Connecticut, or in Ontario when they live in California. So they know that this is possible. Now, again, tinfoil. So if there is a coming war in the future where you need consciousness and you need things to be controlled telepathically, where spacecraft or anything like that can be controlled by people who know how to use telepathy, and this is a group of people who can automatically be telepathic, is there a vested interest in creating a group of warriors or soldiers who can fight and do this type of thing telepathically? I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just asking a question. And if you follow the money and know that America has a very, very heavy military industrial complex, and that they have experimented on children before, even the time travel, Tesla's time travel, they used children to experiment with that. So they have no issue experimenting with children.
That was Pegasus.
The Pegasus, yeah.
So
project.
Is it
Pegasus
possible
project.
that the autistic people, for one, I would want them on my side because they are extremely intelligent, or is it possibly aliens?
Well,
there's always that too. So,
if there is a coming situation where the craft can be manned by thought, it's just a thought. It's just a thought. And Jerome and Wolf and everybody coming in late. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining us. We're just doing theories. We're bouncing theories.
Yep. Good theories. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Here's another theory that I will bounce. Wait, I got to put the hat back on. Now, I don't know if this is real or not. This is just worth mentioning. That, and again, don't get angry with me. I'm just passing the information along. This is just a theory. And hello, Wade. So hi, everybody joining us late. There is another theory that polio wasn't actually a virus. It wasn't actually polio. What it was a mass agricultural poisoning involving DDT. So after World War II, there was a lot of chemical and experimentation, and they weren't always forthcoming with what they were doing and how they were experimenting with things. Yeah, really? Shocker, right? So there was allegedly, and we know that they did DDT experiments. So there was a mass agricultural toxic poisoning in water and across all the agricultural areas that caused polio-like symptoms. So the cover-up was polio. They invented this disease and called it polio. And then they invented the vaccine for it. And the vaccine was contaminated with SV40, simian virus 40, which is monkey DNA, monkey cells. And the simian, SV40, is what later long-term effects of the polio vaccine was cancer. So if your parents got cancer, your grandparents got cancer, if they were vaccinated for polio, there could be a link there, because there became, after the polio vaccinations, there became a complete cancer epidemic with that generation. So, I mean,
It
we
would
know
definitely add it to the situation, no
I
doubt
mean, that
about
is
it.
that's Monsanto. This is glyphosate. This is Roundup. This is the same company, right? DDT,
Yep.
Agent Orange. So this is all the
Mhm.
same company. They have had no problem experimenting on people before. How
Right.
far would they go to pay off entities to make up a disease that they would later eradicate
Mhm.
using a vaccine on the people,
Yep.
to
Like you said,
hide
follow the
what was
money.
really done, to hide what they did to people, and
Yep.
not pay out lawsuits?
DDT is still having effects, worldwide, especially in this country, when it comes to wildlife and the amount of
Right.
birds that had died over that.
Yeah.
So,
So just a theory. I'm not saying it happened. I am not suicidal. I am very happy in my life. My car works fine. I am a safe
mhm.
driver. I'm just saying it's a theory that is worth entertaining. Like, how deep
Absolutely.
does it go? How long has it been going on? It's just something to think about. That's all.
I'm going to go back to when that, we need to talk about dark forces again, I think,
Yeah.
at some point
So
here soon.
that's my tinfoil hat stuff.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. What else is on your list? Let's keep on rocking.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we do. We talk about things, right? We talk about
Yeah,
things openly
absolutely.
here. So nothing's off the table.
No,
So
and again, do the research, but it is coincidental when you
I don't know
look
if you
at chart.
can even do research for that. I mean, maybe.
You can look at the charts. I mean, there was a couple things that I think me and you floated back and forth where they were showing actual scientific charts of before and after the disease was prevalent and how it was going away on its own. Polio
Right.
was.
So is COVID.
It
So is a lot of viruses.
right. So is it necessary for medical intervention when everything is no? If
No,
anything, maybe symptoms we need intervention for, but our bodies have to become naturally immune to these things for our species, let's say, to survive.
and that brings us to that topic that we were going to. So let
Mhm.
me pull up something that we should read about. So with COVID, medical intervention was a disaster. We shouldn't have done it. It made everything worse. The vaccine did not save lives. It was not safe and effective. It was not safe or effective, and we're finding out more and more. So I know they told us that it was. I know we want to believe it was, but there are issues, and unfortunately, if we had just left it alone, like any virus, it would have died out. And by the way, wild polio virus did die out, but type 2 polio virus came back. So do you know what it's type 2 polio virus is?
Is that the one that's created by the
Vaccine. It's vaccine
vaccine?
derived. Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's vaccine derived, just like I believe that COVID was vaccine derived as well. That's why so many people that got 3 shots got COVID 3 times. But
Or more.
yeah. So let me see if I can find this thing. We were asked to cover this story about the Japanese data that came up. Okay, on Gateway Pundit. All right, Japan releases. There we go. Japan releases bombshell vax versus unvax data on 18 million people. So again, this is interesting because a lot of countries aren't doing this because they can't walk it back. After they have promised us that everything was a certain way, they can't walk it back and say, "Oops, whoops,"
Right.
So Japan's one of the few countries that was willing to do it. So the COVID vaccine database covering 18 million citizens has just been released for the first time. After reviewing the data, a top professor warned the more doses you get, the sooner you will likely die. The most terrifying finding was a deadly spike just 3 to 4 months after the final shot. So let's break down the data. On June 15th, a group of brave Japanese truth seekers did what their government would not. They released a bombshell broadcast exposing vaccine data from over 18 million people. So Masako Ganhana posted on X, if the government won't do it, then the people should investigate the mass deaths of the Japanese people. So the video featured a member of the House of Representatives, Kazuhiro Haraguchi, Dr. Yazufimi, I'm butchering these names, Murakami, and the Information Disclosure Request Team. So Dr. Murakami isn't just a fringe voice. He's a respected professor at the Tokyo University of Science, where he serves as the vice director at the Research Center for RNA Science. He holds a doctor of pharmaceutical science from the University of Tokyo and has authored over 100 scientific publications. But when the data went public, things got very unsettling. So Dr. Murakami's conclusion was blunt. He just said, point blank, the more doses you get, the sooner you're likely to die within a shorter period. The first graph compared the death rates between vaccinated and unvaccinated groups. There's a significant peak, which forms at 3 to 4 months, he said, pointing to the vaccine as the likely cause. It's probably due to the vaccine's influence, with adverse reactions occurring, leading to death. So there was a clear peak between the 90 and 120 days after the shot. So this is a problem, and it also translates or flows into what RFK had just released, where they were hiding more vaccine data on this too. So are you following that too? Have you?
I haven't had a chance to dig into it myself, but it's scary.
It is scary.
It's
I think people need to go through a detox. So
yes,
we were lied to. We were lied to. They turned people against each other. We were deceived. And I think it's really important that if you were in that camp where you were coerced, you need to look into a spike protein detox. I think it would be, I think it's important for peace of mind.
I think everybody should at least give it an opportunity to. Sorry, go ahead.
No, and I think getting a D-dimer test would be helpful too.
Yes, I was going to say that.
a D-dimer test will detect microclotting. So if you can get one, get your doctor to order one. You can even get one over the counter. It will help find out if you have the potential to have microclotting, which would lead to any kind of clot issues or strokes. And as Jacob said, who is going to be held accountable? That's the most frustrating thing. Nobody has been held accountable yet. There's been this mass human experiment done on all of us. Nobody's taken responsibility. No one's even apologized. So, go ahead.
I was going to say, he also made the comment about how we were manipulated and we need to know who pulled the strings. Unfortunately, we'll probably never know exactly who, but it's not one person. There's so many people involved in this. And any of the articles you read or anything you've listened to on the show here, Jacob, you'll see that there's multiple people involved in all this.
And it's funded too. It's funded across the board. It's so frustrating. Like Christy Walton and the University of Michigan and many other people are funding what they're calling a VIP. They're trying to go around the thing that what is RK running right now? The
health.
Yeah, the health project he's running. So my brain is slowing down at this moment, but they're calling it a VIP. It's called the Vaccine Integrity Project. What a nice name, right? Integrity. So they're funding a loophole way around to push the development and mandates of these vaccines on people. So this is Christy Walton, the same person who funded the hands off and the No Kings protests. She's now funding the Vaccine Integrity Project as well. So,
she probably funded the alligator Alcatraz too.
No, probably not. Those are her people. She needs them to work. That's why she funded it. It's cheap labor for her. So, in a survey, most Americans, 93% of people are on board with the MAHA principles. So 60% of Americans want these drug ads off TV.
Yes.
So the majority of people want to know who funds the politicians, how much they're getting from pharmaceutical companies. They want to know what's in their food. They want to know who's behind their food, their their medications, where their politicians are getting their money, why their politicians are becoming millionaires while in office. Americans are not as stupid as,
No.
as thought to be. Like, they want to know. They're
Mhm.
just being treated like they're stupid.
Yeah, they put
So,
fear into us first and then got everybody
Yeah.
scared and start jabbing.
right. So, we are the only country that has a food and drug administration together.
I wonder if that's
So,
going to change with
That
all
is
this.
not an accident.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that is not an accident. Same people approving your drugs are putting whatever into your food to make sure that you become a customer in the medical industrial complex. So they make perfectly clean versions of these foods that they ship overseas, and then they feed us the toxic versions on purpose. So be aware of what you're eating. Look at the labels. Be aware of all that, because the biggest rebellion you can do right now is be healthy.
I don't know if everybody understands when you look at it. I'm just going to throw this out there. When you look at a label, what's highest or the first thing you read on the label is the biggest content.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be a little bit of this or that. As long as it's minor and it's towards the bottom, at least you have a better chance of getting something a little bit healthier. So
Yeah.
If you didn't know, you know now.
Yeah, that's the ingredients trickle down on the label. You're exactly right, Eva. As they trickle down, it becomes more minimal as far as what's there. But the first couple things on the label are what's the highest. So,
That's true.
yeah, we need to step up. We if we can't trust the information, if we know it's being manipulated, we're going to have to take our health into our own hands and be responsible. So, we have to eat clean food. We have to raise our immune systems. We stopped treating the whole body. So if you have, if your stomach hurts, you have a stomach issue, they send you to a gastroenterologist. They don't even acknowledge that there's a brain gut issue, or that you might be having. They don't ask you, like, what's going on, at home. Are you stressed, or what's happening? They don't care about all this.
Nope.
They don't talk to a therapist or psychiatrist or anything. They don't talk to, they don't check out your vitals for your heart and lungs. They just go right to your stomach and ignore the rest of your body.
I'll give you a pill.
Yeah, exactly. So, you forget that the physicians, they take an oath, and it's do no harm, and that let food be thy medicine, and let medicine be thy food. This is important. So, these are really big things to consider.
What else did you have that you want to throw out there?
I have a duck.
What?
I have a duck.
If duck.
I have a duck.
What's that mean?
Yeah, hang on. I'll show you.
I got something too.
Okay. See if I can find it. I have a duck for you guys. Nope, hang on. Let me go back. Okay. I hate how long it takes to get a video set up. It's crazy.
While you're looking at that, I'll share this. See if I can get it up there. This was the little shit. I don't know if you guys can see it. The little ducks today that were sitting outside.
That's not
They were
showing.
on
I can't see it.
It's because I got the background. Crap.
Yeah. You have to put it on the thing. You got to do the share the screen thing.
Yeah. I'll drop it in our messenger thing.
There you go. That'll work. All right. Here we are. We have a duck. We just followed her. She's having a whole conversation.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I just gotta watch the hop.
I love it. So throw that picture up if you would. I sent it to you. So at where I work, unfortunately, we have, well, not unfortunately, it's the cuteness factor. 25 or 30 ducks on end that come to our back door now, and we got babies. I think there's 8 babies total, but 5 of them were sitting in the row tonight before I'm like, oh my God, how cute. So I took a picture and I throw it up there. They're not all quite yellow like that, but did you get it?
No, where am I looking?
I threw it in Messenger with the other stuff.
Oh, I thought you put it in the thingy.
No, I can't from there.
Get from there. Okay. All right.
I
Oh
also,
my God,
you see it?
that's ridiculous.
I know, right? Talk about cuteness factor.
Yes, I know.
Okay, so this is 5 of them in there from today.
Oh my God, did you name them yet?
No, they're about 5. They're look at them, look how stinking cute.
How old are they?
They're like a week old. Yeah, barely. And so we get so many, like every other week we got a whole bunch of new ones, and we got toddlers, we call them toddlers, and we got medium babies. And anyway, they know us. They got my number when I'm leaving work, or they follow me out to the car. Feed me, feed me, feed me.
That's funny.
I love it. I wouldn't change it. Anyway, cuteness.
I would feed them too. Red Sunny, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, it is a duck mafia. Thank you.
Mhm.
I like it. There was a video I threw in there also, just for if you wanted to end and throw some cuteness in there. Well, I'm sorry, it's not cuteness. This is cool. Did you see the video?
No, I didn't catch it.
It was the Dukes of Hazzard video threw in there.
Oh, I did see that. To check it. Oh, I'm seeing. You guys have some really good comments in the chat too.
Yes.
Winona says, if we go backwards a little bit, Winona says 3 of my uncles were in Vietnam and exposed to Agent Orange. All of them had health issues. One died a little over a week ago. He survived throat cancer twice and died of stomach cancer. Damn, I'm sorry. That's hard.
I did throw up a bunch of that while you were talking.
Okay. I was looking at Poe Girl. Poe Girl, ask instead of a mammogram, see if it's really hard to do this, but if you keep on, ask for an ultrasound instead. It's better for dense breast tissue and it's safer than a mammogram. So if you can get that instead. Yes, exactly what Lisa said. There's a reason that the taker of the x-rays leaves the room when you get an x-ray. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just going through and seeing this. Oh, Chowny man. I see you can Chowny. Thank you. I'm backlogging. There's some booby bouncing that I missed here. Sportsmaster, hi.
We had your hat on.
I know.
So yeah. I'll answer. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Drugs are the insurance, so the media doesn't give them negative press. Plus, more than 20% of ad revenue comes from pharmaceuticals. I'd say probably even 50%. Yeah. The one that kills me, man. We're watching streaming TV, right? You're watching something great. You're into it. You're on escape, and then you see this fucking Gardasil commercial come on. It's like this loving father. He's got a 9-year-old son. He's like, your son's 9. It's time to talk to him about, Gardasil now. It's like, he's 9. It's a sexually transmitted disease. And then at the end, a long list of side effects that can happen. And then it even includes most people who have HPV, it clears up on its own. Taking the Gardasil vaccine does not prevent somebody from getting cancer. It's like, well, what the fuck then?
Well, we're talking about, work, we listen to the radio all day, and so many commercials on erectile dysfunction. Really? I want to hear that shit all fucking day. So,
oh my God.
So Ben Rob, I'll answer you real quick. What do we feed the little ones? There is actual duck food. We get big bags. We all donate. And we also do oats. Oats for the little ones are easier. Yeah. We do a collection. Yes.
Allie, that's ducking cool. That's so cute.
Yes.
Yeah, we like ducks. Down here, it's like wild. You could get in. We have so many invasive species in Florida, as a lot of you are Floridians. But Eva works with bird rescues, so she knows stuff about this that's like really interesting and really alarming. Like certain ducks, if you call the wildlife on them to be moved, they'll be killed immediately.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Because
Florida's
they're
got a lot.
considered invasive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the Muscovies are that
Yeah.
down here. And crows, believe it or not, crows, lots of other wildlife down here is.
Mhm.
Anyway, there is rescues out there. We found one. That one duck went to a rescue. One lost his mom. We couldn't figure out. One lost duck out there. We couldn't leave it there for the weekend. It would make it. So I ended up at a duck rescue, not far from here. But they can't be nonprofit and they can't register with the state because they're not allowed to rescue Muscovy ducks.
Oh my God.
And so, but anyway, he's got buddies and he's growing up. And so,
I'm gonna leave you guys with one last thing.
wait,
I
play the video.
Huh? Oh wait, well, regarding birds and stuff.
Oh.
I'm watching a show called, it's like a little docu-series, like everything's like maybe a half hour, 40 minutes long. It's great if you're just grabbing a meal and you want to learn something. It's called Connected. It's from like 2019. It's like how everything's kind of connected. It's short. It's like 6 episodes. It's on Netflix.
Okay, Netflix.
So one of the episodes was about a bird called a veery. It's a breed of bird from Delaware. And this bird can accurately predict hurricane seasons. So the bird goes back to Delaware. Sorry, I'm like looking at my hair. I'm like, what is going on with my hair? So this bird goes back to Delaware to nest and has its babies and then heads to Brazil for the rest of its partying time, I guess. So they caught this bird. It's a hard to get this particular bird. So they did this whole thing with trying to catch this particular unique breed of bird. They put a little GPS backpack on it to find out what's going on. They studied its migration habits. And then they were trying to figure out why the veery would leave its nest early, its young early sometimes in June instead of mid-July to start heading out. And they couldn't figure out, was it like food supply? What was going on? And then one of the scientists correlated the hurricane season and the severity of the hurricanes to the exact time that the veeries leave. So if the veery leaves early and leaves its young early, which is pretty detrimental, if they leave in June, we're going to have a fucked up hurricane season. So if they wait until July, preferably mid-July, we're going to be okay. So here's my conundrum, you guys. And hopefully there's somebody out there that's a lot smarter than I am about this stuff. The veeries have left the nest in Delaware, and they've been spotted in North Carolina right now. Please help me figure out what that means.
I can tell you that.
Okay, because from what I thought, they needed to stay in the nest in Delaware. From what the documentary said, they need to sit their motherfucking asses down, take care of their young in Delaware until mid-July, and then leave instead of starting to go south, leaving their young behind. Sorry, I'm punching things. Leaving their young behind to head to Brazil.
That particular veery you're talking about is actually North Carolina, and that is normally where they nest, is North Carolina. They travel through Delaware from the north to go south, but they generally nest in North Carolina. So, that being
this is purely selfish.
What?
This is purely selfish. I want to know.
Oh,
well, there's
a site that I got on the other day. It's called eBird because I'm a birder, and I got on there to check the status of these birds leaving, and they are still nesting happily in North Carolina. And there's pictures and documentation of it. So they have not left. So hopefully that means that we will have.
And we are in July. We are in July. So.
Right. But yeah, this was just last week. So I'll get on and recheck because people post all the time. And there's a bunch of nerds out there like myself that post on there of sightings and pictures.
Okay, please. Yeah. Please keep us informed because just because I want to know exactly what level of stress I should be at.
Well, besides that, migratory, real quick, light pollution. You brought this up. She has a neighbor. I'm just saying, lights this whole fucking house up all fucking night. I mean, like so bright, it's a beacon in the fucking neighborhood.
Yeah, you can see him from a flight. You can see this guy.
It's bad for migration. It's bad for all animals, not just birds, wildlife. Everything travels through the night a lot. that travels through the night.
Yeah, he doesn't
And
do dark
having
sky
one
lighting.
house-
He doesn't do covered lighting. You have to do covered
No.
lighting.
Yeah, and he doesn't do like, low lighting either. And he doesn't turn it off as a timer. It
Yeah.
goes 24/7, bright lit, and then he puts a bunch of flowers out there and expects the deer not to eat it. I don't think so. So anyway, no need for that. Please turn your lights off. Low lighting in your yard. It only helps the wildlife move. So
And warm lighting. Don't use white or blue white. That's
Low
also
lighting.
detrimental. So
Yeah.
Ben Robb says, "Can we kill him quietly?"
no. But I can tell you, as April's cousin, if I catch him out there where he'll talk to me, we will have a very polite conversation soon. I've been waiting to catch him when I visit down there.
I was writing corporate copywriting blogs for Lowe's and Home Depot on various things like make your garage into an outdoor room. Here are the benefits, or what shade of paint is right for you. So I did one about dark sky lighting and why it's important to in the environment. And that one actually stuck with me because there was a lot going on there as far as the environment and how much it really affects the animals, how much it affects everything. So yeah, if you can use lighting that is covered instead of shooting up, that's a big deal. You are single-handedly doing your part to reduce light pollution. And yeah, ever since that guy moved in, I can't see the stars anymore. It's just washed out.
Anyway,
So
yes.
yeah.
Okay. So if you don't mind grabbing that video, yes, that is very true. Why do we need all these streetlights going down a flat road in Florida? It makes no sense to me.
Because people can't fucking drive.
Idiots. Shitiots.
Yeah.
So I sent her a video and it was just cracking me up when I saw it. If anybody, in here has grown up, I don't know, let's say 80s and 90s, you saw Dukes of Hazzard of some sort. And it generally is a big deal. Everybody always thought that was fake, all those jumps, blah, blah, blah. Well, somebody had a replica and actually jumped it in the middle of a city, a town, and there's video of it. So I sent that over there. I just thought it would be interesting to pull it up and say, look, it generally does fly. Watch this.
A car soars 150 feet over a fountain in Kentucky. That red convertible is a copy of the one called General Lee. It's featured in the TV series The Dukes of Hazzard. 35,000 people. Wow. Look at that guy. He's like, let me get out of the way. Gathered to watch this as a stuntman drove it right over the fountain, crashes into barricades. No one was hurt. But mission accomplished here.
Nice one.
I was so silly excited over that. It was just stupid. I was like, oh my God, it can fly. And the car actually did not get destroyed. I just was like, that's pretty cool. So anyway, old time, good old boys. That's right. Not to say they weren't good looking to watch back then either. So, but you guys all had, the men out there had Daisy Duke. Anyway.
Just the good old boys.
Yeah, that's right. Love that show.
Never meaning no harm.
Yeah, it is a rare car, by the way. Yes.
Yep.
I actually saw somebody paint it's one of them stupid little duster cars or something. Oh, it was a Journey. I saw the other day going down the road, painted up I'm like, ew. Why would you do that? So that's all.
Somebody got that freeze frame, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Best comment ever. Daisy Duke. She brought many, many boys into puberty, I'm sure.
I bet she did. Too bad they didn't use Gremlins, right?
That's funny. Well, we've taken up enough of your time. We will let you go, but thank you for being here with us. We appreciate you. If you need any help or information with detoxing, you can find that information for you or yours through Dr. Peter McCullough. You can look up a spike protein detox. It is all natural. It's pretty cheap. So I would definitely recommend doing that just to, make sure it doesn't hurt. And the nattokinase that's used, double bonus, it's also good. It prevents Alzheimer's and dementia. So you're kind of getting a double bonus with it. And again, all this stuff is very inexpensive. So, I mean, I don't need to detox from it, but I still use the nattokinase. So it's nice, but don't take it with aspirin. It's a blood thinner. So be aware of that. Anyway, thank you for being here. Remember to invest in your gold, April Hunter Gold. And we will see you next Tuesday. And remember, I'm doing a countdown to 4th of July. every day this week and many days last week, I was doing a gallery a day. And it's a lot of stuff that it's my classic stuff and some things you guys have never seen before, or you people have never ever seen before. So it's patreon.com, April Hunter. So join me over there and partake in the stuff that actually helps me pay the bills. And I will be deeply, deeply grateful. I appreciate it. And don't shoot your eye out.
Yeah, be safe.
Yeah, be safe. Don't be stupid.
Have
Don't
fun.
shoot your eye out. Don't shoot your neighbor's eye out, and have fun. So have fun. Mwah. And see you next Tuesday. Happy 4th, everybody. So